In the name of Almighty Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Hi viewers, Ambareen Khalid here with today's video lesson on direct indirect speech. Viewers, let me tell you that as an English teacher, I have noticed that one of the major problems students face while speaking or doing writing tasks is incorrect use of sentence structure, leading to grammatical errors. As far as direct and indirect speech is concerned, in our schools and colleges, it is taught and learned only to score marks in examination. Whereas, if we notice, we will come to know whatever the task is, whether it is an essay writing, summary writing, story or letter writing, or answering the questions, direct and indirect speech plays a crucial role. So it should be considered an integral part of English language. In today's video, I will throw light on what is direct and indirect speech, and specifically, I will focus on how to change statements from direct speech to indirect one. So let's get started. Viewers, there are two ways to report any speech or the words spoken by someone: direct speech and indirect speech. Direct speech. Direct speech is a way of describing someone's actual words spoken by him or her without making any change in the words or message or the tense. It is written in inverted commas. For example, she said, "I'm going to my mother's home now." Indirect speech. It is a way of describing or reporting someone's words in indirect way, keeping the exact information and message intact, but by making necessary changes in the tense, pronouns, adverbs of time and place, and by introducing conjunctions to make it indirect narration. For example, she told that she was going to her mother's home then. Now look at the changes made in indirect speech in this sentence. Inverted commas have been removed. Conjunction that has been added to make it indirect narration. Pronoun I has been converted into she. Present continuous tense has been changed into past continuous tense, that is, am going into was going. An adverb now has been converted into then. Now, what is reported speech and reporting verb? When we tell someone what some other person has said, it is called reported speech. It can be both direct and indirect speech. For example, the boy said, "I have completed my work." The boy said that he had completed his work. Now, both the sentences are examples of reported speech. When the activity of someone like this boy has been described in his own words without changing his actual words, it is called direct speech. It is in inverted commas. And when the activity of the boy has been narrated by someone to some other person, it is called indirect speech. And said is a reporting verb. A very important note, viewers. The changes in the tense will be made only if the reporting verb is in the past tense. For example, he said, she expressed, they narrated, we advised or suggested them, etc. And if the reporting verb is in the present tense or the future tense, changes will not be made in the tense. Backshift. What is backshift? This term backshift is being associated with indirect speech because we change the tense from present to past and we go further back. If reported speech is some universal truth or something that happens regularly, we don't change the tense, even if the reporting verb is in the past tense. For example, the teacher said, "Union is strength." The teacher said that union is strength. You can easily see that we have not changed the tense even in indirect speech because union is strength is a universal or eternal truth. Changes occur while changing direct speech to indirect speech. Tense is changed when the reporting verb is in the past tense, as I have mentioned earlier, that is said, told, suggested, advised, etc. Simple present tense will change into simple past tense, present continuous into past continuous, present perfect into past perfect, and present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous. Then simple past into past perfect, past continuous into past perfect continuous. No change is done to past perfect tense. Future will change into would, should. Mostly we replace shall into would too, viewers. Shall changes into would if shall refers to future action. And if shall refers to an offer or a suggestion, it changes into should. But it happens in questions. For example, shall we go to the market? Otherwise, shall will change into would in indirect speech. Modal verbs will change into past form, that is may into might, can into could. Change in the adverbs of time and place in indirect speech. Yesterday will change into the previous day or the day before, tomorrow into the next day or the following day, next week, month, year into the following week, month or year, today into that day, here into there, these into those, this into that, now into then, and ago into before. Change in pronoun in indirect speech. Look at the change in pronoun. First person singular I changes into third person singular, that is he or she. For example, she says, I have done my work. She says that she has done her work. You can see that the pronoun I has been changed into she in indirect speech. First person plural we changes into third person plural, that is they. For example, she says, we have done our work. She says that they have done their work. You can see that we has been changed into they. Second person singular you changes into he or she. For example, the teacher said, you are a lazy boy. The teacher said that he was a lazy boy. So you has been changed into he. And the verb are has been changed into was according to the pronoun. Second person plural you changes into third person plural, that is they. She said, you have won the race. She said that they have won the race. Let me tell you about an exception. When the person addressed is reporting the speech, second person you will change into first person I. For example, he said to me, you are a decent girl. He told me that I was a decent girl. Now you can see that here in this sentence, the second person you has been changed into first person I because the person addressed is reporting the speech. The person addressed is me and me is reporting the speech. Otherwise, first and second person will always change into third person. Now let me tell you about the types of sentences in direct speech. Statements, questions, yes, no questions, that is starting with auxiliary or helping verbs, and questions starting with WH words. Optative sentences, exclamatory sentences, and imperative sentences. Statement or declarative sentence. Today, my focus is on statement or declarative sentence. It is a sentence which declares or states some fact, idea, or an opinion. Assertive sentence is another name for statement as it asserts some fact, idea, or an opinion. For example, she speaks truth. He is an obedient boy. Now change of statements from direct speech to indirect speech. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, Simple present tense changes into simple past tense. For example, she said, I am a painter. She said that she was a painter. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, present perfect tense changes into past perfect tense. For example, he said, they have completed their work. He said that they had completed their work. You can see the change in the tense. Have completed into had completed because the reporting verb is in the past tense, that is said. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, present continuous tense changes into past continuous tense. For example, the boy said, I am playing a match. The boy told that he was playing a match. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, present perfect continuous changes into past perfect continuous tense. For example, she said, I have been doing exercise now. She said that she had been doing exercise then. You can see that the adverb now has been changed into then. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, simple past tense changes into past perfect tense. For example, she said, I went to Lahore yesterday. She said that she had gone to Lahore the previous day. Yesterday has been changed into the previous day, and you can see that the tense went has been changed into had gone. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, past continuous changes into past perfect continuous tense. For example, she said, I was baking a cake last night. She told that she had been baking a cake the night before. Last night has been changed into the night before. Was baking has been changed into had been baking. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, will and shall change into would and should, but mostly in would. For example, she said, I will complete my task tomorrow. She said that she would complete her task the next day. Similarly, when the reporting verb is in the past tense, may changes into might. For example, she said, he may come today. She told that he might come that day. Today has been changed into that day, and may has been changed into might. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, can into could. For example, you said he can build a wall in a day. You told that he could build a wall in a day. And when the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, the tense of reported speech will not change. For example, the gardener says, I planted rose yesterday. The gardener says that he planted rose that day. You can see that we have not changed the tense of the reported speech. Only yesterday has been changed into that day. Another example, he will say she has done the work. He will say that she has done the work. Tense has not been changed in the reported speech. So viewers, this is all about statements. I hope that this video will help you to understand direct and indirect speech in a better way. Today, I discussed about statements. In my upcoming videos, I will focus on how to change questions, imperative, optative, and exclamatory sentences from direct to indirect speech. Stay in touch, subscribe my channel if you like the video, and do comment. Thank you. May Allah bless us all.